If someone asks you to go and measure a temperature, right, in a place, do you bring one thermometer to go and measure, right, and come back and report? Now, if the situation is life and death, and they said, the reading of your temperature will determine certain action which could lead into life and death situation. Now, do you just bring one thermometer and go into measure, right? I mean, you don't do that, right? You need to bring a few more methods to make sure that the temperature that you're getting is fairly accurate. Okay, if there are this a disparity or differences between the different methods, then you will need to be very careful. So therefore, the reason why we pursue different methods is so that we can see, we don't rely on one method, right? We don't just say, hey, we rely on 3-push, but it's very good. What do the other methods say, right? So that's the intent, and that's why the last 3 months, we have pursued, 2 more, in my opinion, very important methods. Now, technically, for me, it's very satisfying because, as an engineer here, I love designing methods that will help me decide, how things are going to move, especially in this financial world of crypto. So for me, that's interesting because it gives me confidence in what I'm doing. And that's why I think, we close the group and just to pursue the method. So that's point number 1. So for most of you who are fairly new and don't have a structured way of looking at the market, you may not care. You like, Jay, just give me a number, just give me a coin and I'll work on it. Right? So most of us are like that, and that's fine, right? But in order to give you that, it needs to come from methods that needs to be fairly sound. And that's why we had to close the group and for me to pursue some of these methods. So today I wasn't sure, but I thought I had an agenda, but based on yesterday's discovery, I want to also speak a little bit more about triangulation, if I have the time. And these are fairly advanced topic, and some of you may not care, so I'll mix up the topic over here, right, so that everyone gets something here. To push on, because some of you may be advanced, some of you may be new, and so I'll cover something basic first just to set the scene, and then we'll probably come back into some of these forecasting, right? So just bear in mind, if you say, hey Jay, why did you move from $55 XRP to $300? 55 comes from 3-push, right? The 300 or 290 comes from the Fibcalc method. Triangulation, it's a long way to go. So at this point, I won't use triangulation to forecast the moonshot tree. It's more of a shorter term forecast. So we'll leave that for the moonshot tree. So hopefully that answers some of the questions there. So I want to move on fairly quickly. And one of the things I wanted to set the scene, especially to the public here, is the season we are in, right? So yesterday we had a meeting and I was talking about March Madness, and this month may be very, very exciting. If you haven't seen the last day, right? I mean, the market has been fairly strong. So so all coins, right? So I want to start with this basic so that we set the scene. Dominance, and this is quite powerful. Those of you who are new in the world of crypto, you probably heard about the 4-year cycle, which is set by the Bitcoin halving roughly, and the 4-year cycle is to say the least very, very interesting. Let me just give you guys an idea. Just starting with a Bitcoin. Maybe that's what we'll start off with first. Yeah. I'll start off with the big picture, right? The big picture is there is a point where after the purple line, this is the halving dates, right? After the purple line, you can see it's very fascinating that after purple line, there's a bull run, right? There's a bull run and then it crashes, right? After this purple line, which is the second halving, right? it's got a bull run, then you crash, right? So this seems to be like it's almost programmed, and right now in the latest cycle, you can see the same thing, right? So number one, this is not new. The last two halving, we have been seeing this, so it has been going up, and we know that based on the forecast, somewhere around October and November, things should start to correct itself. So point number one, if you guys are holding, I would I would advise that you do not you try to cash out and move into other assets. Some of you might be saying, but this time is going to be different. Statistically speaking, the last two run, it hasn't been different. If you want to bet against the previous trend, by all means, go ahead and do so. But I'll just say upfront that you might want to take some money off the table. If not, take a lot of money off the table come November. Okay. So we are in a bull cycle now. This is for Bitcoin, right? So this is for Bitcoin. 2021. Okay. Now, it's very interesting to note that in this cycle, let me try to frame it over here. In 2014, if you take an example, 2014 it came down to 2015, right? And 2015 it did go up and it starts going up, right? So Bitcoin is definitely on the bull run. And the question is, do you want to hold on to, do you want to buy Bitcoin? And the answer is, well, if you want to make a lot of money, Bitcoin is not the place. We did forecast Bitcoin to go to, anyone remember how far are we going? Right, FibCog is saying, what? What's the number for FibCog? It's a pop quiz to some of the existing members. Pop quiz. Anyone? What's the number?
287.
Around there, 287. Man, that's really precise, right? So round it up to close to 300, but yeah, somewhere before 300, 287. That's a good number. Can it go higher? Definitely can go higher, but somewhere around 280, 300. So that would be now. If you do the math, currently Bitcoin is about 50K. For it to go up to 300, how many X is there? How many rotations? Right, we call it. It's only about 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6X. Now, some of you say, man, 6X is amazing, and that's okay if you really want it. So I'll go for a 6X. Now, the alternative is, so 250 Newton, that's a great conservative number as well. So 250, 300, around there, great place to exit your Bitcoin. 6X is great, but if you look at all coins can give you much, much more. All right, so what are all coins? All coins are basically coins other than Bitcoins. If you look at some of you who are a little bit more advanced, you might look at Bitcoin dominance, right? So the Bitcoin dominance would have come down recently. Let me just show on the daily time frame. It has come down since January, and it is coming to this point now to decide if it's just going to drop like a rock, right? So did we see this in the last cycle? The answer is yes. So in the last cycle, it came to a point where eventually it dropped like a rock here. And this time around, right, we'll see potentially you drop like a rock as well. So there's a long way down in the next couple of months. And I wanted to do this open AMAs because I think we are at a point where things are happening. Okay, so what's the point here? The point is Bitcoin will do well and all coins will do even better. So that leads into the questions of, what all coins are we looking at? Are there many of them? Right? Obviously, we know there are over 8,000 now, and so we'll see. Let's see, the chat says, do we see Bitcoin correcting any more downwards? The answer is, Bitcoin might go down, but it has limited downside. And so let's go back into BTC numbers and see. Right, so let's go into the 4 hourly here. I've said before, if you look at pattern like me for many years, this is a very strong pattern here. When I drew the line here, some of us say, Jay is going to break the line. Now it can break the line, but also very quickly it's going to come back up. So I'm not sure if it's going to break the line because even if you look at the previous correction here, right, the previous correction here is very strong. When it dips, I think the institutional guys buy, right? When it dips, we buy. So I think it's very hard to try to come below 40K. Can it go down? Of course it can, but that's why you want to buy the dip. Okay. I do see that Bitcoin in this month may not go anywhere. Right? When I say it may not go anywhere, it means it's going to hover around here. Maybe it goes up into the 60,000, the low 60,000, and hang around there. Yeah, not too sure, but that's what I'm seeing. Is there data to support this? The answer is yes, because we were, some of you may have heard me saying we are comparing this pattern here against the 2017. So let me see. Let me try to clone this one here. Right, so what is that, BTC? So if you go into BTC and go back into 2017, if you just change this and just say go back to 2017 March, right? Around there, you would see something very similar here, right? This one over here. Now, obviously, this one is on a lower position here, and this one is a higher position. And it might take a while for it to go up, but it will go up, right? But this month it might do something like this. So just bear in mind that yeah, Bitcoin may be a little bit slow this month. Okay, yeah, take a look at this, right? This is right. If I take this number here, if we are around here, right, which is what, 29 March. Where is April, right? 29 April this year. So maybe this is where it is, right? By the end of the month, we are here. Maybe we are up there slightly, so we might be in the 65. Yeah, but I doubt we are hitting the 80s anytime soon. Okay, so that's on the Bitcoin. Can you have another leg down? Yes, can have another leg down, but you hang around here pretty well. Okay, so that seems to be the case. We'll see how it's going to turn out. Now, as usual, if you guys got questions, you can put it in the chat or just come online and ask questions. If not, I'm just giving you the narrative. Right, this month may be a big month because this is the month, right, going back into the 2017, right, which is the last leg of the bull run. Right? In the last cycle, you guys should, those of you who have been around knows that in 2017, we've got the biggest move, right, in 2017, which is the last year for the entire 4-year cycle. Now, note that right now we are in the last year of the bull cycle. And this is where the altcoin, right? This is, by the way, the altcoin. Yeah, just to be sure, you're looking at the altcoins market cap. Okay. It's going to go nuts. I seem to be going nuts. Now, if we were to use history, if history is any guide, going back into 2017, let's go back into 2017 and click on this, right? And look at the third month, right? And this is something that in our community we discuss to death, right? About the third month, right? What do we see, right? What do we see in the third month? Let's see on the left. We did track this, right? So those of you who are new, you would see that this on the left side is the beginning of 2017 Jan. The first month was okay. It's a nice move, right? It's a nice move. That was back in 2017 on the left. Okay, now on the 2021 January, How did we do on 2021 January? We did okay, isn't it? I mean, if we were to zoom in here, right? So if you see, that's the other funny thing about the alt season. It's always start from the bottom. Don't you notice here? It always starts from the bottom of the curve here, and then it pushes up. This is January. This year around, where's my arrow? Okay, so this year around in 2021, it did start from the bottom and push up as well, right? Again, very interesting. See, some form of a fractal patterns that is very much resembling the 2017. Right? You guys see this, right? So hopefully you guys will see this pattern here. So that's January over here, right? And February we did have the correction and then the pull back up, right? So February you see the upside is very low, right? The February upside is very low in across the altcoin. Now let me see, yeah. So we just ended January. Sorry, yeah, we just ended the February, right? So how did we do on February this month? So let's just zoom in and see a little bit. So you can see that we came down and then we pushed back up. So it was fairly flat as well, which is kind of scary, isn't it? Which is reminding us about the previous cycle. Now most of our coins went down. Even though that this thing is flat, but a lot of the major coins did go down. And what happens next, which is why the reason why I wanted to do this session is comes March. Okay, and March seemed to be the biggest month for the entire year. Okay, so if there is 1 month to actually bet on in the cycle, it will be this month, right? It will be this month. This is where we are. So that's why I wanted to do this, because if you guys are thinking of getting in to the market, this is it, right? So I don't know how far we're gonna go, but this is going to be a massive push. Is this the end of the bull run? The answer is no. I can keep going. You can see April. What happened to April? We'll see a dip, but it will push back up very strongly as well. Not as strong as March, right? But April will be strong. May, heading into June will be strong. And in June, things should complete. This is where we talk about Moonshot 2. Okay, by the way, in terms of our model, what we say is Moonshot 1 completion for the majority of the altcoins will be around here, which is the end of March. Fingers crossed. I will see. But the bull run continues on all the way to June. But June pretty much comes to an end. And well, it's not an end, but it's the end of the major run. And then there's going to be massive correction coming down. So just be careful, after the first half of the year, there's going to be massive correction before the final leg of the Moonshot 3. Right? This is the Moonshot 3, where it traps all the buyers. If you guys remember, if you guys were buying in the late 2017, you would have trapped for the next 2 years in altcoins, 2.5 years, right? Because that's where it would crash. The entire thing would crash. Okay, so that's the narrative that we are heading this year. Right now we are March, so this is how things may be turning. Now, in details, just to let you guys know, things will not start until where is this? How long? So this is March. In the last cycle, it says things will go nuts after the first week. Okay, So we have today's day 2 over here in Sydney, Australia. This is where I'm from. We have maybe about 5 more days to go, roughly, give or take, or maybe even 3 days to go. Who knows, right? But we've got days to go, hopefully, before it starts to go push up. And this is why we have this discussion here. Okay. That sets the scenes, hopefully, for those of you who are new. Do we have questions on this? Let's just check in with the chat. Let's see. Okay, VeChain, yes. Let's look at VeChain. Planning to make. But okay, hey, I'll see you. All right. No questions on the general season we are in. That's great. Now we'll start diving into some of the details here, right? And then we'll start to look at coin specific. Okay. Now, so here's a big question, right? I mean, if March is gonna be big, which coin, right? Which coin should we be looking at? And this is where things becomes tricky. All right, things becomes tricky. Meaning, do you want to look at coins that has already gone up, or do you want to look at coins that are still down there? And this is where you have to decide. Coins that has gone up would be like Ethereum or ADA did really well recently. I'll show you. Let's look at some of these coins now to be in specific. Okay. I'll give you an idea about the structure. By the way, we deal with the market structure, the crypto market structure to be specific. So, in other words, the market structure across the coins are fairly similar. This is ADA, right? So you can see ADA has hit the all-time high over here on the top. So these are coins that's gone up to Moonshot 1. Should you go into Moonshot 1 coins? Moonshot 2 coins, coins that has gone up and continue to push up. And that's a personal preference. Now, personally, I would prefer coins that are still down here in the F5 category, right? So we call this the F5 structure. You can zoom in a little bit here. This would be the F4, and this is the F5 structure. Now, you can't really see because it's very noisy down there. So I'll just zoom in and see. You can see this is a F5 structure. Before F5, you got the F4 structure. Just a little bit of language on the F5 and the F4 structure. How does it work? The answer is pretty simple. What you do is you look at, you put a date on the March 15, roughly around there, which marks the low, which is the reset of the crypto where everything starts to go up, right? So if you pick a March 15, and then what you do is you look for the next bigger structure. When I say, okay, these are all small structure. Oh, here's a big one, big correction comes up. All right, here's F5, and then bang. Okay, now this is as simple as you can get. All right, so we look at this structure and say, are there coins that are around F5 here? All right, are there coins around F5? If they are, maybe we need to get in. Right? Maybe we need to get in, and because it can push up very, very nicely. It can push up very, very nicely. Mind you that ADA took 2 months, I think. Yeah, it took 2 months to do this. So some coins might take all the way to April, end of April. Some coins maybe, right, like OMG and XRP would typically be very, very fast. You probably take just a couple of weeks, and we don't know, right? So I don't know whether it's going to take in the last cycle you would have seen XRP took maybe 3 to 4 weeks just to finish Moonshot 1, whereas other coins may take 2 months. So we'll see how it's going to play out. Okay, so we basically look at this structure, and so here's a common question: is Jay, does this structure sort of looks the same across all the coins? The answer is yes, right? The answer is yes. it looks across very similar to other coins. Take for example, even if you do Ethereum, you say, wait, hang on, it looks very similar, isn't it? Yeah, and that's exactly the answer. Ethereum, for example, if you compare against ADA, they look pretty much, it rhymes, right? The structure itself rhymes. So you can see that's the F4 structure. Where's the F4 structure, you might ask? Here you go. Right. So here's the F4, right? Here's the F4, F5, right? And then bang, okay. Ethereum will go all the way to the top, and then correct itself. So very, very typical structure to actually work with. Okay, so what other coins, for example, that would be very good, that hasn't gone up significantly? Now, there's a whole lot, right? So we'll cut to the chase and just provide some of the coins that we really like, unless there is a coin that you want to look at and see. So take for example, someone mentioned, Mick was mentioning just now, VeChain, right? VeChain. Let's see. VeChain coin paprika. Now, VeChain had a dislocated supply here, and which caused the chart to actually dislocate. Now, but if you just ignore all the dislocation, right, and look at it purely from the structure point of view, you might say, hey, Jay, this looks really, really interesting. Because why? Yeah, if you were to compare these two, right, I can see where it is, right? Here's the F4 structure, right? You see the F4 structure here, F4, fractal number 4, basically. That's what the F4 is. F5 typically would come back and retest the F4, right? So that's the F5. Now you can hardly see it over here because I've got text over here. And you might say, Jay, maybe we are here, right? So would it be a fair call that it's here, right? This VeChain maybe here, right? You might say it may be there because it's above the F5 structure. If that's the case, then hey, it's got a lot of mileage to go. Do you mean that it can go up to potentially 20 cents, 30 cents? Answer is yeah, it looks like it that way, right? To almost to scale here, looks like it that way. So when do we exit? Right? When do we exit? Okay. If you remember just now, we said in April, things are going to correct a little bit. So maybe towards the end of the month in March, you need to be careful that we might see a correction coming at the end of the month. So that's when you want to exit with VeChain. But in the meantime, you're holding VeChain, you might just let it run, right, until end of the month, the third week of this month, and see. Right, so this month is the month where you let the coins run, right? So that's what it is. You can see it's coming back up very strong, and so VeChain would be one of those coins that maybe something for you want to consider. Okay. Again, there are many coins, and you might want to don't buy now, right? So don't go ahead and buy. Just want to look around and give yourself a chance to see what other coins are doing. Let's look at other coins and see, and then we start to look at other topics as well. Yeah, for example, some of you mentioned Zinfin. Zinfin has done, and John would have seen. I can't remember when I think we predicted a 2.5 cents like 6 months ago, right? I mean, Zinfin. What is this? A coin. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. Okay, let's look at Zinfin. It's still going back up. And yeah. So yeah, hey, yeah, John. I can't remember. Do you remember, John? Crypto Mentor 99. When we first spoke about Zinfin, it's really interesting. Let's see. I think it was here. Was it around July? Can't remember. Let's see if John is around. Yeah, so I think we spoke about it around here, and I say yeah, definitely 2.5 cents here is at least a moonshot one, right? We say because this is not even the 2018, and it is still going up, and based on the numbers we have, let's see what the numbers do we have on Zinfin. Zinfin, right? So we hit the 2.5, so we are going for 36 cents at least. We'll probably need to review the numbers here by March because it looks like it's a very strong coin, and Moonshot One might be on the higher side. So yeah, those of you holding Zinfin, continue holding on. Wait, hang on. Did I say 3.5? 36 cents. Sorry, not 3.5. 3.6 cents. 36 cents going up. Yeah. But 36 cents is way up there, isn't it? So it's way up there. So you'll see, it's gonna go there, and that will be on Moonshot 2. It might be higher, but we have to review the numbers here. But it looks like Moonshot 1 can be around the 8 cents area, 7-8 cents area potentially. So we'll see. So yeah, so Zinfin has done very well. I spoke about 2.5 for at least 6 months ago, and it's doing well now. Zinfin is a coin that we can definitely yeah. John's saying 60 days ago. Okay, 60 days ago, right? And I think it's more than that. I think you have been around for a long time, John. I think we spoke about this even in September, right? Is that right? September, at least a September, if not yeah, July or somewhere around there. So it's fine. Yeah, we're all getting over. That's all right. Okay, so Zinfin is great. Now the other coin which rhymes very well with Zinfin, some of you know, Zap is probably one of our favorite coins here. That it rhymes very well, right? So Zap is slightly behind. If you can see the F4 here, right? That's the F4, right? And if you can see Zap is somewhere around here in Zinfin, right? If you guys can recognize pattern, you'll be able to see where this is. It's probably around here, right? So we know that Zap will do something similar, pushing up. It will probably come up here and correct itself, and then push up again, right? So that's a nice push up on Zap. I think we get it over in Bitrue. That's another great coin to get in, right? So yeah, Moonshot One, maybe, I don't know, maybe even if it's around 70 cents here, you still go very high. But definitely can still go up to $2.20. So we'll see how far Zap is going to go. It's definitely going up to 220. The question is when. So it's definitely looking very strong here with Zap. I think some of you have seen the hourly chart. I think it is trying to push up over here in the hourly chart. So it should do well. Okay, so that's another great coin. And let's see, what else do we want to look at? KuCoin token, is that like KC? Is that KCS? I don't know, anyone? What's KuCoin's token? Is that right? KC? Yeah, there you go. KuCoin's token. KC. Yeah, let's look at KuCoin's token. And so it did have a 2018. So that's very nice. That's very nice. Let's see. This might be a good coin to get, isn't it? But then you got to be, where do you get it? It's only in KuCoin, maybe. All right. So now one thing about all these coins, especially KuCoin as well, we'll try to project the Moonshot 3 on KuCoin and see how far it can go. The assumption here is it's going to hit Moonshot 1 at the all-time high. That will be our assumption. And if that is true, we'll see how far KuCoin goes. All right, so let's see. Can KuCoin goes really that high? Let's see how high. Okay, so this one. Okay, you line up with the 1.618. So I won't go into the methods because we do teach that. We just line it up to 1.618. And doubling up, and you see that it can go up to about $3,000. So that's some serious numbers there. What's the magic number? Number of rotation would be, let's say, it goes up to 3300 divided by where we are now, about $5. So you still have about 600 over X potential. Not bad, isn't it? 600X potential. If you throw in $1,000, yeah, could end up with $500,000 maybe. There you go. I can't provide financial advice, just showing you what the method can forecast to. Okay. Now, why is it that we like, or at least I like KuCoin? Because all the exchange will do very, very well in this bull run, right? So we have seen it before in VGX, for example. VGX is also a coin that has done very, very well. And some of us, bought in much earlier, like what, 20 cents. I bought in at even 90 cents, and I'm still making a lot of money here because it just keeps going up, right? So if you want to compare the two, this would be it. You can see that VGX is also a fantastic coin here. We are projecting VGX to go up to about 3,000 as well, which is also about what is that? 400x? Yeah, 400x to go. Yeah. So KuCoin still have a little bit more upside maybe, right? So you can see yeah, the pattern here, it's very similar. KuCoin has a much bigger F4, it looks like it. Yeah, this is a huge accumulation, right? Huge accumulation until it burst up. Right. So whereas Voyager's got a much smaller accumulation before it actually burst up. But definitely KuCoin is looking good. And towards the moonshot one, which may be around here, right? Which is around the 25 region. About another 5x to go for moonshot one before it starts going up. So looks pretty good, I would say, even for KuCoin. Yeah, any questions on this so far? I think we are seeing a lot of yeah. What are the coin that are in this category? I think AST is that right? AST is just a more obscure, more obscure. It's less popular, right? It's less popular exchange. Supposedly, I think that's what the intent is. Yeah, if you want to pick this up, it's not a bad idea because here's the F4, right? Here's the F4. You can see it's coming back down. Bang, it's going to go up somewhere. Moonshot one, did I say around 220 as well? Safe, so about $4, somewhere around there. Now, if it does go up to $2, boy, this is a nice 10x from here, right? And so now, can it get there this month in March? It may not, but it could definitely get there in April. So AirSwap would be potentially another one that's worth looking at it. Okay, so what other exchange coin do we have? Oh yeah, BNB, right? BNB went nuts. BNB went nuts. Obviously, yeah, you can see it just went nuts. Obviously, BNB is the biggest exchange in the world today. I think that's true. And it just went nuts. So you can see all the exchange coins, they do very well. In hindsight, we would have said, yeah, we should get into any, some of these. But it's still not too late on some of these coins, like AST and yeah, even Bitrue. Is that right? EMB, EMB. Ambrose, yeah. So you can see even Ambrose is doing its its F5. This might be a good one as well, right? I mean, if it actually goes up to even $1, that's some serious number here, right? So take note, take note. I'll take note over here. I'll take note. AMB, right? Maybe that's something to look at. Um, because AMB is not that, yeah, Celsius, right? Celsius would have done very well. What is that? Celsius? Yeah, Celsius. I think they've done very well. So there you go. Celsius done very well. I think some of you mentioned BTR. That would be on Bitrue. Bitrue is much smaller, right? So unfortunately, Bitrue is much smaller. But let's BTR. I think it's a definitely a dark horse here. It hasn't really gone up, but you can see it spikes back up. So I might have some nice upside, but we don't really know how far it's going to go. But hey, you know, if you want to take a shot, this might be a good one. Okay. Is that okay, guys? So in general, the exchange coins, they'll do very well because in a bull run, right? So I've got friends who work in exchange. In any bull run, they'll tell you the house, right, or the exchange, they make obscene a lot of money. Obscene a lot. We're talking a lot of money. So I think anytime there's volatility, they'll make a lot of money. So you know, Binance, for example, it's very big. Okay, so let's look at other coins, and then we'll move on. Okay. A question: how do we know which coins will correct after Moonshot 2 and 3? All the coins will correct after Moonshot 2 and 3. No coins run away from the corrections, right? There's no coin that's going up all the way. There's no such thing as a coin going all the way to the top without any correction. Moonshot 2 and 3 correction specifically is much bigger, right? And take for example Aave, right? Because I'm taking this because I've got this this coin here. So take for example Aave, Moonshot 1, right? So this one corrected by fairly significant, about 70%. Now mind you, it did go through a forking over there. But 70%, that's pretty big. And then it went all the way back up. I remember Aave, you know, when we were down here in the 30s, you know, I was telling that this coin is going up to 1,002 and maybe more. At that point, people are saying, probably thinking I'm crazy, right? It's still, I say it's still going to go up. Don't worry about it. And people say, no, Jay, this is crashing. This is crashing. You're crazy. You're crazy. And now it's like, wow, look, $500, right? So, hey, market structure, has it ever failed so far? I haven't seen it yet. So, yeah, so that's correct, right? Moonshot 2 and this Moonshot 1, Moonshot 2 will correct fairly big as well, and we know that in the history, right? So take for example, we have Bitcoin here in the previous cycle. If you look at Bitcoin's previous cycle, yeah, Bitcoin has a much more gentler approach, right? So for Moonshot, it did correct only about yeah, 40% maybe, right? So in the previous cycle, close to 40%. Not a big deal, right? But all coins will correct significantly. Like in the case of XRP, in Moonshot 2, you know, it correct close to 60, 70%. So as it goes higher, the correction is bigger. You know, Moonshot 1 correction before was much smaller. Moonshot 2 is getting bigger, and then Moonshot 3 will correct significantly by 80% for Bitcoin. If you guys have not seen XRP, right? XRP corrected how big? It's pretty big, right? XRP Moonshot 1 corrected by 58% roughly. Moonshot 2 corrected by 70%, and Moonshot 3 would correct by 97%, roughly around there. So as we go higher, it corrects even more. It's just the nature of the game. So please be mindful of each correction. Okay, so let's move on. Yes, we'll try to catch Moonshot. Now, Moonshot 1 these days doesn't seem to be big, right? If you look at Ethereum's correction, even currently, let's look at Ethereum, right? So recently, while I make the call on Ethereum's Moonshot 1, I say if you if you don't mind, it might not correct significantly. Now, mind you, it did correct up to 35%. But one is it's not easy to catch 30% correction here. Depending on where you exit, because who knows where the top is, right? Can anyone able to predict the top? No one knows, right? So to try to be able to catch the 30% is not easy. If you're lucky, you can catch 20%. It means your call is close to the top. 20%, and also you're lucky that you can catch the bottom here, which you don't know. So trying to catch even 20% here sounds easy, but try to give it a go. It's not that easy. So in certain coins, take for example Zinfin, right? Zinfin. And one of the things I say is, this correction here, right? This correction here wasn't that big, right? It did show like, what is that? 40% correction, right? 40% correction. While I did call on the 2.5 cents around there, but it's hard to say where's the low, right? So that's why as investors, you do not get out in the Moonshot 1 unless you know coins are going to correct significantly. Coins like XRP, OMG, these coins will correct significantly. But remember, Zinfin here, this is not Moonshot 1, right? Why is this not Moonshot 1? Because the all-time high did not go back into 2018. So yeah, so those are things technically you need to understand. So yeah, some coins we will have to get out, some coins we may not. So like ADA, I don't know, right? ADA may correct afterwards, 30%. But do you want to get out right now? And yeah, it's tough. I think as an investor, you might as well better off in Moonshot 1 just holding on to ADA, for example, and you would exit only Moonshot 2. Okay, so that's my advice. So it's not easy, all the coins will correct as big as the others. So it depends on coins, yeah. XRP. Okay, so XRP, OMG, just keep teasing. Yeah, it's right. It was that Baidao. What's happening to Baidao? What's that? I'll just look at this and then we'll look at I'll look at XRP and yeah, and what is that? OMG and XRP. Yeah, we'll look at those. Very interesting. So obviously we do not have data. We only have data going back to this September, and this looks like a F4 to me, right? I mean, I know that this is an assumption. It looks like a cup. It comes down, and this should be going up, right? If I'm right, if this is the F4, right, and this is a correction, it might be pushing up. Now, remember, this is the March. All coins will be pushing up, right? All coins will be pushing up. So this will definitely try to break the top over here and go above. So can't really provide too much because we don't have enough data to forecast this, and that's part of the weakness of the market structure because it relies on data. But also, I think that's the strength because it's factual, right? It uses price, and price is the same for you and me. Doesn't matter, right? Rather than relying on people's opinion, about how good the coin is, and I would prefer to go on with this one. So that's why we don't deal with a lot of ICO. I don't like the ICO. Now, maybe at this time it may be good, but again, it's very speculative, right? If you are speculative in nature, then you might like research house that people just publish new coins that potentially could go up. Whereas in crypto market structure, we are data driven. I like to deal with facts. I like to deal with patterns, and these are factual things that I can use to help me decide. So that's the difference between what we do here and others, right? Everyone can have an opinion. It's true. Now, I want to look at OMG and XRP. Many of you us here are concerned, right, about whether it's actually going to move or not. Now, I'll just say this is quite powerful, this idea here. I'll cover a little bit of, I don't call this theory, this is factual, all right, because there is a mathematical equation that the coins would have to follow. Now, this I learned from the world of Forex, and I'll try to, and this is especially some of you who are more advanced in trading and investing. This formula is not new. This formula is just a simple formula to equate, how the relationship between Bitcoin, US dollar, altcoins, right? So hence the concept of triangulation here. This idea, I think, to some of you, you may not care because it's a little bit more advanced. But for me, this idea is very, very powerful. Some of you, I was telling some of you yesterday, I was waking up 3 times in the night because this insight came to me. And it was taught to me by a lady many, many years ago in Forex. And I'll share the story with you as I was listening to the lady. Now, in the world of Forex, that's the currency trading, right? So she said something very powerful, and I'll show you GBP, JPY. I'll give you an example, and this is what she said. And even today, I mean, she told me more than 10 years ago, right, about this. And this is how important it is in helping me trying to understand, what to look for. She said, Jay, she said, most people don't know. I mean, if you buy pound yen, you're not actually buying pound yen, right? This is in the world of currency. The pound yen doesn't exist, she said. Now, I was shocked and I hear that. I said, what do you mean, right? Everyone, I mean, you can go into the exchange right now in the foreign currency. You can sell your yen and buy into pound. I say, yeah, that's what we do every day. She said, no. She said, operationally, pound yen doesn't exist. And I said, I don't get it. She said, when you buy pound and you sell yen, she said, essentially in the operational side, you're buying GBP against USD, right? And USD against JPY. Now, some of you currency traders would understand this, right? This is the triangulation of this. She said this one on the left side doesn't exist. When you buy pound yen, you're essentially involving US dollar as well, because US dollar is the common denominator across everything, right? And when I understand, I say, oh my goodness. Okay, you're telling me I'm actually selling dollar into pound as well as buying dollar against yen. She said, yeah, this is what's happening in the background. And when this happens in the background, it gives you the illusion that pound yen actually exists. Okay. Now it sounds fairly technical, but this insight was very powerful to me, which I took and translated into the world of crypto, right? So basically, this is about BTC USD multiplied by multiplied by all coins against BTC, and it gets you the altcoin. Now this is just mathematically correct. And what is powerful to me is you look at the plumbing, right? You look at the operations as what the lady said. You need to understand the plumbing. I say, okay, let's understand the plumbing. Do we have the plumbing going into, by the way, I'm telling all this story. This is fairly for the advanced guys. On why is it that I'm leading to altcoins against BTC chart? All right. So why this altcoin, or for example XRP BTC, or whether it's OMG BTC or any other, this is so important. Because the plumbing is there. What do you mean by plumbing? For example, if you go to any major exchange, can you convert your dollar into BTC? The answer is yes, right? You can just do a click and then you can get there. Now, let's just say if you are going to buy a coin called Zinfin, can you convert US dollar into Zinfin directly in, for example, some of the major exchange? Now, not all, it may or may not exist, right, depending on the coin. Now, in Zinfin, for example, if you look at BitTrue, right, which is a place where I can get my my Zinfin, let's look at BitTrue, right, or even Zap, right? So, but it doesn't matter, right? So let's look at Zap, or where's my Zinfin? Zinfin, right? So you can't get Zinfin directly. You can either get it through USDT. In other words, you need to convert your US dollar into USDT and then get into XCC. Now you might say, well, isn't that the same? No, I say the plumbing is different. All right, the plumbing is different. So once you understand the plumbing, then the big question is, where is the big pipes? Where are the big pipes, right? So the big pipes are over here. And in a lot of cases, the big pipes may be around here. Now I'm using BTC as an example here. This could be in BitTrue's case, XRP, because BitTrue is XRP centric, okay, and all this stuff. All right, so this is a long story that it came to my realization that I said, okay, this plumbing has always been there, BTC USD. But in order for an altcoin to really go up, because the direct plumbing into the altcoin is not there, it's just like saying what I said just now, because pound yen never actually existed. It exists based on the mathematical operations behind the servers that is doing a few calculations like this. So therefore, what I'm saying here is the altcoin against BTC chart is extremely important. In other words, if we can tell whether money is flowing from BTC into altcoins in that coin, then we know for that coin, things should start to move. Now, it's just common sense if you think about it. But a lot of these stories starts to gel together for me. That was really exciting. At least for me, as a researcher, this idea is very powerful. Okay, so that's a long story to say we have to look at altcoins against BTC. Okay, so then the question is, okay, what is OMG doing against BTC? Do we see BTC assets flowing into OMG? That's an important question to ask. Do we see that? Okay. Now let me give you an example of a recent one. Cardano, right? So I think I use Cardano. Or even Zinfin. We can look at Zinfin later on, right? Look at Zinfin. And this basically describes, right, in 2021, right, in 2021, you can see this is January. What happens to January? Cardano is doing stronger than Bitcoin, right? Cardano is stronger than Bitcoin. So now think about it. Bitcoin is already going up, right? We are on an uptrend. We know it's on a bull cycle, so we don't have to worry about this in the long term. It's going up. But if that coin, right, Cardano in this case against Bitcoin is also going up, Cardano against USD will be going up as well, right? So now in this case, it's against Bitcoin, and in January you can see the money is flowing in, right? And February as well, it continues on. So in other words, a lot of money either coming from Ethereum or of Bitcoin is flowing into Cardano, and it creates this structure. So because of this structure here, we use this structure to decide, do we think money is flowing in from Bitcoin? Now think about it. Bitcoin is the biggest asset class. Well, it's the biggest asset, digital assets here in crypto. So if the plumbing from Bitcoin is flowing in, rest assured that you got pumps coming up, all right, into the coin. All right, so that's a long story, but for some of you, I hope it may not resonate right now. Just like the lady, that was telling me this story more than 10 years ago. But one day, I hope that, Jay told me about this before, and this is important, and hopefully you would understand that. Okay, so let me go down into the details here on OMG. So now we're starting to go tactical, right? So we say, yeah, nice theory, but what does that translate into? So this is what I'm looking at. Let's see. Yeah, so I've got OMG there now. Is that right? Yeah. So let's try to compare, right? The structure and the pattern here. All right, I've got the arrow here showing this is the low. Here's a low, and I'll cut to the chase, right? For OMG, you can see it came back down and hit this low over here. All right, so you guys may be able to see that it hit the low over here, right? It starts to create the first structure, right? Hit the low and starts to create the first structure there. Right, and then it starts to come up, and then there is a fairly flat structure over here. Then on the next structure over here. Now then it starts to pump up, right? It starts to pump up, and then it starts to crash down. Now this is where it was fairly hard for me to identify just now. Trying to figure out, where's this thing? Where's this massive correction coming back down? And the only place I saw is right here, right? The only place I saw was right here. Okay, so I say, okay, fine, right? If this is if I think we are roughly around here, if OMG is roughly around there, let's zoom in around, the 19th of February, okay, and see if we get something over there. So I'm going to zoom in on the 19th of February. Is that right? Yeah, so there you go. Is that right? 19th of February, KMD. No, so I missed it. It's not 19th. Okay, it's here. It's roughly around here. So then I zoom in and say, do we have something similar maybe? Okay. All right. Okay, so we'll zoom in right around here. Okay. Now, if you look at this, it's like, that's really interesting. So we got a low there, right? We got a low there, came back up, right? And did this thing, right? So we got a low there, came back up, maybe it did this thing. Not exactly sure, maybe that's, this is close enough for me, right? So, so where is this, right? Is this one up here? It's not that clear, right? But but it looks like we are somewhere around here. That's what I'll say. By looking at this bigger pattern here, we are somewhere around there. Okay, and if that's the case, so I will line them up with XRP. Now, if you try to triangulate, there are a couple of options. So one is I put it around here. The other one, I think it could be there as well. But after much consideration, and cutting to the chase, I'm putting OMG around here, right, which is very similar to XRP. And that leads into the interesting, is it true? Is it very similar to XRP? Let's look at XRP then, right? And if you look at these two on the 4 hourly, and this is where things becomes kind of scary, where it's very, very similar, right? So this structure here is For me, it's very similar if you start zooming in. So you can see some of the common, this structure here, for example, is much flatter for XRP here. And then you see a massive spike here. Now this spike here, right? I'm not attributing to this spike here. I'm actually attributing to this spike over here, which comes back down to where we are. So because of that, I do sense that the data is telling me these two are very, very close to one another. And cutting to the chase here, based on the Cardano's map here, what I'm seeing is this massive structure over here is where OMG is, and as well as XRP, right? So that is that's fairly encouraging, just to say the least. Because if it is here, the next thing is we are seeing a potential push up, right? Fairly soon, and that's what I'm seeing over here. And do we see in the month of Jan, it was fairly good for OMG as well as XRP. So in the month of Jan, which goes into Feb, it did go up fairly nicely. But in this month, it came down just from the open, just slightly below. The good news is it's still hanging around here. It's not going crashing below. So this month, let's see if it's actually going to go up, pushing up to the high side. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Now the other option is compare against Zinfin, right? If you say let's look at what Zinfin did. Right. So Zinfin down here is the low, and if you say it looks closer to Zinfin, right? Looks closer to Zinfin. Even if that's the case, you say it looks closer to Zinfin, and we could be right as well, right? If it looks closer to Zinfin, that's why I say even if it's here, we know where it's going, right? We know where it's going. Right, so it's going to go up here, right? And it's going to go up fairly soon, right? Regardless of against ADA or against Zinfin, where are we looking at? Yeah, we're looking at here, right? Hitting this one at least. Now, this is not Moonshot 1, by the way, right? Mind you, in Zinfin, remember right now, Moonshot 1 is way above there, right? Way above there. So what we're saying is we should be able to see OMG hitting what you call this number in terms of Bitcoin. Now let's try to triangulate and see, right? What's the number? What does the number mean in US dollars, right? So now this is, remember, this is not the Moonshot 1, right? So let's do some math here, right? For OMG, is equals to 0030, right? 2264. I'll just do 27 multiplied by the price of where Bitcoin is going to be around there. So I'm going to do 55,000, right? Which is the ballpark figure. It's going to go to the $14 first. Now, where's the $14? You might ask. Let's have a look at where the $14 is. OMG, again, this is, by the way, in dollars now. Right, so it will have to go up into the $14 first. Let's see. Where's the 14? So it's here, right? And it can definitely make sense. What do you mean it goes up to $14 first? So it can go up to 14 and then correct itself, right? Retest into the F4. And then bang, it's gonna go up. So let me just move this away. Okay, so let me try to draw that again in slow motion. Draw it in slow motion. Let me just take away some of these arrows here. Okay. So remember, yeah, so we are hitting that sort of this area right, in OMG. We do the math, it says about $15, roughly around there. So this is going to go up to 15, most likely, right? Or 14, whatever. Comes back down, right? Why do we know that it's going to come back down? Because there is a correction structure here, right? Now, if you believe this is going to correct roughly about 30%, maybe that is true. This is going to correct by about 30%, right? So, yeah, so roughly around there. And then it will push up like Zinfin, right? Then you start to push up next into the Moonshot One, right? Which we spoke about, can be about $40. And then it's going to correct itself massively because that's the Moonshot One correction. So that will be the second part of the, let me just put it green color, right? The second part, that's the Moonshot One right there. Do you guys see that? Yeah, so hopefully you guys can see that. All right. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing, and if we are aggressive, we might want to do that, right? Because if uh, if if OMG were to go up and correct itself back down to here, you know, 0.00, it's how many percent correction? 30%. Now the danger is it can go higher, and we don't know how high it's going to go, right? So this is. This 0.0026, you might say, but Jay, what if this thing goes up here, right? And then it corrects itself back down. I say, okay, let's look at this number, right? 0.00318, right? So what's the number? 0.00318. Let's say 318. Yeah, 318. It's going to go up to $17, right? And then it's going to come back down, right? Yeah, can it go to 70 and then come back down? Yeah, the answer is yes. Definitely can go up to 17 and come back down. So you can see why trying to catch the top is not easy. But that's a good place to actually correct itself and then push up. So something to watch out even for OMG. And is this where we're gonna end Moonshot One? And the answer is clearly no. You can see in OMG. We did say the Moonshot One can go up to back to the top here and into this region and break the top. Normally against BTC, that's how it's going to do. It's going to come up to this region and at the 0.0076, and we spoke about this at 0.0076. I think OMG. Let me see what's OMG's number. Yeah, this is 0.0076 multiplied by 55. It's about $40 over, right? Whereas OMG is at $40 over, is right up there, right? So you can see this is the $40 over region here. So my forecasting method here, it's fairly reasonable, right, for OMG. And you say, holy cow, Jay, can it go up to 40? Yeah, almost a 10x. Yes, the answer is yes. Question is when, and this is the hard part, right? Can it do it in March? Maybe, right? Can it do it in complete by April? Yeah, definitely completes by April. And then still got May and June for it to do Moonshot 2, right? Which is way, way up there. And we're only talking about, sorry, not Moonshot 2, this is Moonshot 1, right? Sorry, this is Moonshot 1, not Moonshot 2. So just to make the correction. Okay. So I hope I give you guys an understanding of the methods that I'm using to forecast, which is really scary good. So yeah, if OMG is going up now, right? If this is where Zinfin is, right? If you compare against OMG, right, and this is where we are, then yeah, absolutely we are going up. If you look at XRP against BTC, let's see. I think I can't go any further. Yeah. So, right, are we doing this? The answer is right. So definitely, it's this structure over here would be here, and then we'll push up. So OMG and the XRP structure would be very similar. Okay, those are just it's very long story, isn't it, on these two? But you get the point. Yeah. So these two are just yeah, the structure here on these two is very, very similar. Okay. All right. So we look at other coins. Hopefully, it gives you an idea around where we're going. And let's see. Zem is great. And CSC. Yeah. So Zem is obviously on our list. If you look at Zem, Zem has done. I think has done very well. Unfortunately, I did not have the opportunity to pick this up. It's definitely done very well going up. Let me just look at the 3 days. Yeah, so there you go. So even in F5, you can see it's pushing up right now. This F5, F4, F5, right, pushing up. Definitely will hit the all-time high. If you ask me, this coin is very strong. So we have covered this even in the F4 during the F4 time back in November, right? Saying this is going to be a strong coin. That's part of the challenge is, because there are so many good coins, you have to, select what you like the best and then move on with it. In this case, if you have used Zem, then continue on. It will definitely push up into the $2 region here. So yeah, keep going. What other coins do you guys look at? Qtum, Ron, is that right? CSC, Qtum. Yeah, Qtum looks like it's, what is this? An F4, right? So F4 and F5. Right, here's the F4 cup. Right, it's a classic F4 and F5, and it's definitely going up. Yep. So can it go up to the $100? Well, fingers crossed. Right, if it goes up to 100, man, that would be a lottery. Right, 20x roughly. Why not? Right, give it a chance and see how it's gonna go. So if it doesn't finish, then again, you can look at April. Remember the month of March, April, May, and even going to June, right? March, April, May, you should be able to cover a lot of grounds, not just for Moonshot 1, but for Moonshot 2 as well. So give it a shot. It's definitely going up. So we just don't know how it is. Jeremy, we did look at Matic, right? Is that right? Polymath? Is that right? Or is it different? Polygon, Polymath. I think it's different. Polymath, US dollar. So it looks great as well. It did not have the full cycle. It only goes back into February. But definitely will go above the 250. Looks like it. So 250 is a nice rotation, isn't it? Goes up to 250. How much is the math? 250. If it goes up to 250 from where we are, point 335. Yep, 7x to go. Yeah, still nice. 7x is very nice. So definitely hold on to it. Yep, Polymath looks good. Yeah. This structure is very interesting. Let me just look at Polymath. Bitcoin, yeah, Polymath, Bitcoin. Just look at the structure. It should be way ahead in the structure. Wow, that's really interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting in terms of its structure here. Yeah, so let me just. I'm just curious. Yeah, just curious on. Yeah, and you can see I'm just comparing against the OMG here on the left side, right? So, yeah. So that's what I'm looking at here. So this thing has been going down and down, and we're probably somewhere around here, and just waiting for it to push up. But looks like Polymath has done the push up right now. So it's definitely trying to push up against BTC, which is a good thing, right? In other words, money is flowing from the bigger coins like BTC into Polymath. Yeah, so it's nice. Okay, look at other coins. Is that Orion? ORN? Yeah, Orion. I haven't seen Orion for a long time, right? So Not enough data, but it's definitely very strong, right? Because the F4 is down there. Right, where's September? This doesn't have enough data, but it does look like F4 is down here, right? It does look like that. Then it start to F5 starts to push up. Very strong. Looks very strong coin. 14 a bit heavy, but why not? Like give it a go. Can it go to 100? Yeah, long way. 100. I don't know whether that's moonshot 1 or 2, but it does looks like it can definitely go into the hundreds. So yeah. Let's see. Hey, we can look at Phantom. Do we have enough data? I keep forgetting. Phantom, if we have, oh yeah, we do have enough data, right, for Phantom. It's definitely looking very strong, Phantom. You keep going up, right? This is the F4 going up. Do you know where the moonshot one? Clearly, we don't know, right, where the moonshot one is. Even for Phantom against BTC, we don't have enough data to see behind, like where is it going. So we know it's gonna do well, and the way to trade Phantom is you wait until the third week of the month or something, the fourth week of the month, and then exit, right? And if you want to avoid that correction, or if you don't care anymore because it's done you very well, it's going up into potentially a $10 range, why not? Right, just wait and definitely go into $10. Whether it's moonshot 1 or 2, not too sure. Right now, it's definitely not moonshot 1, right? It's somewhere in between. So yeah, just keep holding on to it. Syndicator CND, is that right? Yeah, I haven't seen this for a while. Looking great. F4, this is an F5, right? So syndicator. Hard to tell you how far it's gonna go in moonshot 1, but it definitely looks very good to push up. I think most of the coins are ready to push up because this is March. Can it go up to 10 cents? Even if it goes up to 17 cents, you're doing how many X is that? Yeah, it's 10X, right? If it goes up to 17 cents. So definitely worth holding right now in the month of March. Let's see how far it's going to go. And the idea is you hold until March and then until we see a major correction, which I think March and April, early April, right? We saw just now that early April, there's a massive correction. That should be the marking for Moonshot 1 for many coins. Okay, not for all coins, for many coins. Okay, so yeah, that will be for many coins. Syndicator looks good. We got what is this? One chain. Haven't seen one chain for a while. Also, this is the same structure. Looks very good. Definitely. It's got a much better potential in hitting its all-time high, which is about $10, right? So 10x looking very good. So fingers crossed that it will hit the 10x. Again, we can't promise because every coin will have to decide to do how far it go on Moonshot 1. So yeah, one chain looks good. What else? Yeah, is that division? Casino coin. Casino coin is one of the toughest one to hold, isn't it? It did jump back up here. Tough one. I'm not a big fan. This structure here is concerning. When it went down really low. Yeah, this one will probably not go up there. If I'm right. So it's not a coin that you definitely want to hold because there's a lot of resistance here anyway. Could be a pump and dump. So well, best case is it might end up in the 10 cents in Moonshot. Moonshot 2 or Moonshot 3 around here. So not casino coin for sure. Much better coins. HBAR has always been a great technology. I love the technology. H bar is always uncertain, but it's looking very strong for sure because the F4 is really big and is definitely doing is at least an F5 and above. So if you're holding it, yeah, it can definitely go up above 55 cents. That I don't think that's a mystery. That's a surprise. Going up even into $1, yeah, is definitely possible, whether it's moonshot 1 or 2. I would just say again, right, hold on to it. We know it's a very strong technology. It might surprise you on the upside, and eventually go up into the double-digit potential, right? So if I were to use this one as moonshot 1, which I know it's a very, very conservative estimate, right? So very conservative estimate. The numbers will go up to, let's just see, right? Even for H bar, the numbers can go up into $30 easily, right? So just mark my words, right? $30 easily. Moonshot 3, fingers crossed you get there. But you say, wait, hang on, Jay, $30. That's only 30x. To moonshot 3, well, at least a 30x, I would say, for H bar. All right, so very good. Bitcoin Cash has done very well these days. I haven't seen it. It's still hanging around here. This is moonshot 1. Typically, I'll call it, but again, I could be wrong. It's definitely coming back up. It's definitely coming back up. Maybe moonshot 1 is slightly higher on the 800, and I think my projection for Bitcoin Cash above it at the 14K is fairly reasonable. I think. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I think it's fairly reasonable. Okay. If I'm a little bit more aggressive, yeah, I think can it go higher? Yeah, it can definitely go higher. I can definitely go up into the 20 over 1,000 here. So somewhere between 14 to 20 would be very reasonable for Bitcoin Cash. Say, wow, that's a lot of money, isn't it? $14,000 for Bitcoin Cash. Well, if Bitcoin is going to $300,000, right? So going to 20,000 for Bitcoin Cash, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Okay, so we'll see, right, where the moonshot 1 is currently. This may not be the end of the moonshot 1 for Bitcoin Cash. It might even go up a little bit. So that's why it looks like a strong market for Bitcoin Cash. Yes. VTOR, is that the VChain Tor? I think VTOR. Yeah, so that would be, yeah, so it's yeah, it's gonna go up. Looks pretty amazing. Can it go up to the $5 for sure? Not for sure, but looks like it's definitely very possible. So it'll be crazy, right? If it's not even 1 cent, you can go up that high. Why not, right? Give it a shot, because it does correlate with the way I look at all these coins is always correlating with the main coin here. Right. Did it drop because of the yeah, you can see it correlates very well with the what you call with the native token, right? So yeah, just hold on to it. It should be fine. So BCH, how come no all-time high? BCH, there is an all-time. Not all the coins will go to all-time high, Nina. I'm not saying you can't, right? But I doubt BCH will go up to all-time high. Can it? Well, let it surprise me. Right? Let it surprise me. Let's go to the log chart. Yeah. Can it go to? Yes. The answer is yes. But this is typically the what I call the Litecoin pattern here, right? So can it go up higher into? Yeah. So I guess we'll see, right? If it goes up higher, definitely, Bitcoin Cash should be very strong here. So this pattern here, in case you're wondering if Jay just randomly just plucks stuff out of the air, the answer is no. If you look at Litecoin pattern before, I've always compared Litecoin against BCH. Okay, so there's nothing new over here. You can see Litecoin is doing what Bitcoin is doing. So if you look at the previous cycle, I'll just show you guys the previous cycle, right? For Litecoin, this is what it did, right? So let me just delete some of this stuff here. Right, so the moonshot one was around here in the previous cycle. So if I were to frame it up for you, right, Mina, this is what it looks like. Yeah, do you see? Okay, so we don't just, at least on my part, I don't just randomly take stuff and put it there and what do you just call it? But there is a historical precedence behind it. And I'm not saying that Bitcoin Cash can't go up and do moonshot one. This is just how in the previously it was. Maybe it will surprise us this time. But like I say, we'll see, right? Because we are still early in the game. And maybe that's what it is. Right now, everything is moonshot one. And if that's the case, the all season would be fairly boring, isn't it? So yeah, so we'll see. This should be, yeah, this might go up a little bit more. So you can see if you say Litecoin, it's going to push up, right? It's going to push up very nicely. And the answer is yes, right? It's definitely going to push up very nicely. So you can see that it's going to come up to this part of the world. And then it's going to face some resistance. That's about 1,007. That'll be the next stop for Bitcoin Cash. Face some resistance before it starts grinding itself up, right? So it does grind itself up to the top there. So that's how it's going to be. The same thing is going to happen with Litecoin in the current cycle. So you can see this is the current cycle. So it's the same. It's going to grind itself up into the $200 and $300 region. And then it's continue grinding itself up. So yeah, Litecoin is to go up. It's not a big deal. Same with Bitcoin Cash. Okay, that's just what we see in the past. All right. Hey, yeah, great that some of you can join us. We gotta go. You gotta go, and we do this all day, all night, right? Can do this all day, all night. And that's what we do in the community. If you guys want to join in the next 5 days, let's have fun in March, right? Let's take the ride and see how it's gonna go. If not, hey, just hold on to your coins. It should be good. Yeah, I'll be able to upload this in YouTube in the next 8 hours. Yeah, no problem, Jeremy. We're gonna finish off in the next 15 minutes anyway. Yeah, we can't be. I mean, there's just way too many coins to look at, right? So the idea is if you see so basically in the next few days, yeah, just be prepared if the coins that you like. Go ahead and take positions because this month would be the best month to hold, in my opinion. So we'll see. So what else are we looking at in the next 15 minutes? The other coins that I was looking at, I'll share some of those with you. For example, Komodo KMD. I was looking at it. Very nice F5 as well that I'm seeing here. Again, let's see how far it's going to go, Komodo. By the way, this is not a bad time to just take some small stakes in a few coins and see. We call it striking a lottery, right? So if you strike a lottery on one of these coins, hey man, this should be great. So I can't tell, Komodo is going all the way up. It's going to go halfway here, just like what Litecoin may do. And can't tell, right? But hey, why don't you give it a go? So Komodo, if it's going to go all the way up, it's a nice 10x as well. So that's something I was looking at. The Walton chain, some of you brought this to me. I kind of like it. I look at it and say, hey, why don't take some small position, right? Really, really high upside. Again, I'm not saying it's going to hit the $40 range, but if it does, hey, it's a jackpot, right? So there's a lot of these coins here, that may potentially surprise us. Yeah, even if it doesn't, it goes to $5. Hey, that's a 5x. That's okay. I'll take it. So I can't promise how far it's going to go. And so these are things that I look at. The other one, obviously, we stack up is the QKC. Some of you would know, right? So the QKC coin, it's also doing F5, and it looks like it's ready to push up. I think on the, let's see, on the hourly, is that right? Let's see how is it. Oh, yeah, it just pushed up a little bit compared to yesterday. Very nice. So very, very cheap, right? This is a 1.3 cents coin. Even if it goes up to, what did I say? If it goes up to somewhere around here, like around easily, what do you call this range over here, 5, 6, 7 cents. It's not a lot, right? 4 cents, you might say, that's not 4x, not a big deal. But if you hit the jackpot going up into the 20 cents, yeah, that'll be pretty crazy, right? So again, you know, some of these coins, we don't know how far it's going to go, so you have to give them a chance. So those are some of the coins I'm looking at. Definitely open up for questions in regards to membership, or if you have questions around specific coins and to look at in the last 10 minutes, we can definitely talk about it. Yeah. Any other stuff you guys want to have a chat about? Yeah. Yeah, all right. If you guys got to go, yeah, go ahead.
No, can you look at BAT?
BAT, how is it doing? I haven't looked at BAT for a while, isn't it? It should be good. Yeah, I think it's on F5 right now. BAT has a sort of a flatter structure here. So in the long term, it's not that as good. But hey, who knows, right? This thing, how far it's going to go, because this could actually surprise us going up. So yeah, hold on to it. F5, here's F5, Kalina. Right, F5. F5 means is good. Most of the coins are around here. Right. Only coins that are not doing F5 like OMG and XRP, you know, it's still below the F4. But if it's above like BAT, it should be good. It should be good. All right. 1 inch, I think, is that's fairly new. Is that right? Yeah. And CH. 1 inch, I think, is fairly new. Yeah, you can't tell much from it. So yeah, so coins that are relatively new, I'm not saying you should not buy. I'm just saying that we can't forecast, right? So yeah, so sometimes you are saying, Jay doesn't look at new coins. Yeah, well, I mean, there's nothing to look at new coins in terms of the structure. What do you want to say, right? Can it go to $100, $1,000? Who knows, right? The structure does not. We don't have enough information. Yeah, Classic. I haven't looked at Classic for a long time. Should be doing fairly well because of its correlation. That's not doing very well compared to Ethereum, isn't it? Looks like it's doing an F5 as well. It's definitely going up to the moonshot one area up there. Whether it's going to $30, $50, yeah, we'll see. So yeah, easily a 3x. Never a fan of ETC. I know some of people are, but if you look at the structure, you know, Ethereum is already up there, right? So that gives you an idea, right, how much money is flowing into Ethereum, right? So you can see Ethereum is up there. This ETC is still down there. Okay. Yeah, hey, let's look into CRO and XRP in details. Yeah, we can definitely look at that. CRO, where is CRO? Let's see, CRO. It's looking pretty good, right? It spikes up, came all the way down. Is it going to go back up? The answer is yes, but it looks like a fairly thin buying over here. So hard to tell. These are not structures that I would go with. Can it go up? The answer is yes. It's a strong company, right? Crypto. So yeah, I can't tell you how far it's going to go really. There's a forecast here, but definitely seem to be going up as well. It broke the top, hang around here. It should start pushing up next. Yeah. Now, in case you guys want to look at XRP in details, XRP is, people are saying this like an inverse head and shoulder thing, and I mean, they could be right as well. this structure here, this is the F4 structure for XRP, right? The F4 structure. And let me go down to a daily so that you can get better granularity. Looks like it's nicely defended over here. And really continue to defend very nicely over here. And I think so, right? So because it rhymes very nicely with ZAP. If you look at the ZAP structure on the F4, I've got to go to 12 hourly so that you can compare on the F4. Okay, so here's the F4 for ZAP, right? So you can see on the right, here's F4 ZAP. If I were to frame it up this way, you might get your attention. I might get your attention on some of these. You might say, huh, that's interesting. Because this structure here, you might say, okay, that's the first structure over here, right? So let's just say, right, you say, okay, that's the first structure over here, okay, and then you have a major structure over here, right? So it, yeah, you might say that's another major structure over here, and then you might say that's a major structure over here. So are we going up into the 80 cents region? The answer is yes, and really correct. Most likely it will. We don't know whether it's going up to $1.30. Most likely it's going to hit $1.30 and come back down. We'll see. And before it actually pushes up. So should be exciting, yeah, for XRP. Does it make sense? You guys see this structure here? Is it clear? Yeah, Sharif? I hope it's clear. So yeah, we just follow the structure, and because it's factual, I don't listen too much. I mean, I do follow the fundamentals and the news, but opinion-wise, everyone is saying it's going to crash, it's going to go up. You know, how do you know? Well, use the data to help you decide, right? So again, I've seen the BTC triangulation on XRP. Like I say, I like it. I like where XRP's position is. Can it go down more? The answer is yes, it can go down more before it actually pushes up. For example, there is a dip here you can see with that before it actually pushes up. Right, so it can be pretty scary. You might say, "Ooh, there might be a dip coming up." It can be, but it's very hard to tell whether this is the low or not. So yeah, that's the story with ZAP, with XRP, and all the same, right? With OMG, it's the same. You go into the F4, right? So this is the F4, right? For OMG on the right side, you can see the F4 XRP on the left side. So we are here, right? And we are here. If we do say OMG is going to go up, well, guess what? XRP should be going up as well, right? Is it yeah? Is it clear on these two as well? Hopefully it's clear. Yeah, here's the structure, right? Here's the structure coming from the low, right? The next big one, zigzag up, right? You can see a zigzag up, coming down, right? Where is it gonna go? Crash? No, this is March. It's going up. All right. Digibyte should be should be great as well. Yeah, Julie, these patterns are becoming like it should emerge in your dreams, right, Julie? That's what people say. When you're dreaming about patterns, then you know you got it. What is that? Digibyte? Digibytes. Yeah. So you can see Digibyte is definitely way above the if you call this an F5, this is a very strong F5. But you can see it hits all these major resistance line here, and that means Digibyte is ready to go as well. So that looks good. And let me go back into, and this is a long way back, right? So you can see, okay, you can see these are major resistance line which is covered. It means Digibyte is ready to go. Right? Digibyte is ready to go to push up into breaking its all-time high. There's no question on that one. And the question is, when is it going to do it? and March is definitely a good month to do it. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah. Rod, Neo is great. I think Neo is even in a better position. You know, originally I was thinking Neo is going to be slow, but apparently not. Yeah, even Neo is doing very well. You can see that it broke some of the major resistance line that I pointed out, and it's going to grind itself up into the $100 region. So 3x. And then Moonshot 1 will be in the 200 region, so it should be very nice for Neo. So yeah, hang in there. Moonshot 1 is up there, so without doubt, that's where it's going.
Jay, I've got a huge range of values for MS1 for XVG. Can you narrow it down a little bit, if you wouldn't mind?
I'm not sure if I can narrow it down, partly because there isn't enough data. All right. Okay, so
No,
again, let me show you.
XVG.
XVG. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Thanks.
XVG, we do have enough data. Yeah, we do have enough data. Right. So, yeah. Can you go to Moonshot 1? Answer is yes. Right. That's the lottery. Right. Hopefully, it goes up to that region. The next level of resistance, it has already covered this very well, right? So it's already done this. Next layer is it's up here, right? So you have to deal with that.
Yep.
There's one more behind, so there might be a circus around here. There's one small one. It's not a small one. It's just looks small, but that's a major resistance. So there are two here that it needs to deal with around here, and then it starts to push up, right? So can you narrow it down into around here? Not easy. Yeah, I don't know if I can tell you whether it's 45 cents or 50 cents or 36 cents. Yeah. What I'll say is this: use the time, right? So if not next month, I don't know whether Verge is going to go up here all the way to the top this month, but if it does, you want to get out. It doesn't matter, right?
Okay.
By the third week, if it's up there, you're like, yeah, get out, you know.
Yeah, because triangulation came up with a pretty low figure. That's all.
Yeah, the triangulation. Let's have a look at the triangulation. What is it that I was? Yeah, let me go down to trade. Yeah, that's the USD and the triangulation. I think the triangulation wasn't that easy. I think, yeah. It's got a spike here, and let me check if Verge on the other one. Let's see if we got a spike. Okay, this one is better. There's no spike here, so this is cleaner data, right? So, oh yeah, I have it around here, right? So I have it around here. These are practical numbers. I'm not saying that it can't go higher. It definitely can go higher because that's where it was, 2018, right? So you got to decide whether you can hit here. So these are the numbers to look at. Practically, let's look at this number, right? So the first one, I think triangulation on Verge. I'm sure I've done it somewhere here. Yeah. What's this number? Yeah, 238. It's around. That's the lower one, I think. 238. Yeah, that's the lower one. So 238 to 13 cents. Yeah, which is here, right? 13 cents is here.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think you can almost be sure that say it's gonna hit that. It's gonna hit that. Right. It's gonna hit that. Now anywhere above this is anyone's guess, right? All the way to here. You might say, oh, gee, what's that number? Well, that number is pretty big, right? Let me try to use that number. How many zero is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. Right. This is where my eyesight would kill me. Like, how do I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, multiplied by 55,000, quite roughly. What, 50 cents? Yeah, 50 cents up there. Right, 50 cents is way up there. So can it hit that? The answer is yeah, it can definitely be. It can hit that. So I'm not discounting that. I'm saying these are very practical numbers. In other words, it's 15 cents.
Okay.
So you might, I guess I'm saying is you might want to do a limit sell at 30 cents. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, limit sell.
Okay.
Potentially
Thanks, Jay. Thanks.
Yeah. So, all right. That's pretty much it for the time we have. And I thought I just want to cover some of the good coins and answer some questions. Hopefully you guys can take the opportunity on the March timeframe. Okay, that's pretty much it. Let's see, CVC. I think, did we cover CVC? Oh no, we did not cover Civic, isn't it? CVC. CVC is great. I have no doubt about CVC. You can see that it's already touched the support here, resistance. Sorry, and I think let me try the other one, CVC. I think CVC's got a hidden agenda here. Let me try. No, it doesn't have hidden agenda. So it's just got to go up to touch the $1.60. So I think that's where it's going. Around there. I think we did Civic. What's the number for Civic again? Yeah, so $1.75, right? We did say $1.75, which is up there. A nice safe number to hit. Should you exit? I guess it depends. If it's end of the month, you hit that one, yeah, then exit and wait for the correction. Hey, yeah, appreciate everyone's time. That's pretty much it, guys. And if you guys want to join us, in the longer term, please do so in the next couple of days. We have already some new members coming in, which is good. And then we close again, right? We'll close the membership again until we settle down, and then maybe the next month or next few months we'll see. Maybe it might be too late, right? By the time May comes, there isn't much to happen. That happens, then we gotta wait until the next cycle. Otherwise, have fun, guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.
Thanks.